boys and girls. My name is Miss Lisa, or Lisa Jo Yogi. I am here today to bring you a yoga class. I don't know if you've ever practiced yoga before, maybe this is your first time, but I thought since you are off of school for a bit, this may be a really great time for you to learn a little bit about yoga and give it a try. Let's get started. All you will need is a space that you can move about, a towel. I have a small mat, yoga mat here that I'm standing on, but you do not have to have a yoga mat. You can have a towel, like a beach towel or a large bath towel. Even a blanket will work. And also a pillow. Just a soft pillow that we'll be using a little bit later on for a arm balance posture. Take a moment, gather those items. If you do not have them already, you can turn the video off. Then once you have the items, turn it back on and we'll begin. So here we are, ready for yoga. As we begin our practice, we want to start by slowing our body down and finding calmness within. I like to use the analogy of a shell. Let me bring these a little closer so that you can see them. They are a conch shell. You've probably seen these. There are shells that are much bigger, but this is all I have home right now, so I thought they would do. A conch shell symbolizes the beach, which brings about a feeling of calmness, serenity. So we are going to make a conch shell with our hands. When we make a gesture with our hands in yoga, it's called a mudra. And I will show you the shell mudra. Take your right hand, I have my left because I'm mirroring you. Really doesn't matter which hand you start with, but take one hand and place the other hand on top. Then we'll bend the bottom thumb and just place it in the palm of the top hand. Then close all 4 of your top fingers right over that thumb. Now reach the top thumb and the bottom index finger or pointer finger together, they touch. And if you look down in your hands, you should see a shape that looks something like a shell, like a conch shell. Then we'll take that shell and put it towards our heart and close our eyes. Just begin to calm down. You can even lay down on your towel if that's more comfortable for you. And as you either lay here or sit here with your eyes closed, I'd like you to imagine that you are on a beach. Just feel the wind blowing across your face. Maybe you feel a little touch on your cheek. You can hear the ocean waves in the distance. Perhaps you can even smell the fresh air. If your beach is by an ocean, there's salty water. Maybe you can smell that salty ocean water. Just begin to relax and let go. Be aware of your breath. Hear your breath. I'd like you to try something a little different with your breath. Close your lips. Let us breathe in and out of our nose. We'll call this an ocean breath. Breathe in through nose. Draw the breath in. Begin to release that breath back up and out of the nose. Hear the sound of your breath. Does it sound something like an ocean wave? Listen carefully. Breathe in. And then out through your nose. Breathe in this manner for just a few rounds. Now, go ahead and open your eyes. You can release the conch shell that you made. So hopefully this simple breathing exercise helped to kind of slow you down, calm you down inside. We will now begin our practice. The first pose I want to show you is called child's pose. It's your home-based pose, and you can move to this pose anytime during our practice today. You want to bring your big toes to touch and open your knees wide. And I'm going to take this facing the opposite direction so you can kind of see how my toes come together. My knees are wide. And I'm going to let my forehead come down to touch the earth. I'm going to bring my thumb and forefingers together, reach my arms overhead. You watch me first. Now your hips might be high in the air, as mine are here, or they might sink down to your heels. It doesn't matter. Yoga does look different on every body. Yoga is not a sport. Everyone's body moves a little differently. We have different degrees of flexibility, different bone structures. So the pose will look different. You may look different than I do, and that's totally fine. Resting your forehead down, this pose is very calming. Just stay here and move through a few more rounds of that breath, your ocean breath, in and out of your nose. If you feel you want to stay in this posture a little bit longer, that's totally fine. Again, you can turn the video off at any time, take the time you need, and then turn it back on when you are ready. I am going to move along from child's pose and show you next a little bit of a sequence. And by a sequence, I mean just simply putting some poses together. Just like words in a sentence, how you string them together to make a full sentence, we'll string a few poses together to make what we call a yoga sentence, or a yoga sequence rather. Starting in mountain pose. And mountain pose is simply standing, your feet are planted. Think of lifting your shoulders up, back, and down, arms alongside your body. This is mountain. You can also reach your arms up towards the sky. Palms come together, that's mountain. Yeah, mountain pose. Our next pose is called either forward fold or gorilla pose. Separate your feet about hip width, and then hinge forward, lead with your chest. Let the crown of your head face towards the earth, which means you'll need to bend your knees quite a bit. Your arms can dangle like gorilla arms. You can also bend your arms, reaching towards the opposite elbow, and let your body sway side to side. Now I'm going to take this pose so you can see my side body. So again, you can see how my knees are bent, allowing the crown of my head to face down. And then again, arms dangle or reach for the opposite elbows. Yeah, there's gorilla pose. Find our way back up to mountain. And we'll flow through these two postures and add another posture. So from mountain, reach up high. Gorilla, hang down low. Plant your hands and let your feet step back. This is a plank. You've probably done this posture in PE classes, phys ed classes. From plank, lower, you can bring your knees down. Let your upper arm shave alongside your body, come all the way down. Untuck your toes. Then we'll gaze forward. Just lift your chest, look forward, almost like a snake. We call this cobra. Lower back down, curl your toes under, and then lift up, send your hips up and back. This posture is called downward facing dog. Your body makes an upside down V. Yeah, there's downward facing dog. Now from here, we'll step forward, we'll come all the way back up to mountain, and we'll flow through the whole thing. So it's mountain, forward fold or gorilla. Let your upper body sway. Plant your hands, feet step back. There's your plank. Lower all the way down. Shine your heart forward, cobra. Curl your toes under. Lift up, reach the hips up and back. And there's your downward facing dog. Let's take that one more time. This time if you want to hop your feet forward, you could do that as well. So you can step as we did last time, or come up onto the tippy toes, gaze towards your thumb, and then just hop your feet forward. Come all the way up, there's your mountain. Fold forward, there's your gorilla pose. Plant your hands, feet step back, plank. Lower all the way down, there's your cobra. Curl the toes under, send your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Nice. So that little sequence hopefully warmed you up. You might feel your heart rate moving and you feel a little warmer than when you first started. We're going to move through another sequence. We call this our warrior sequence. We'll start back in our downward facing dog. Come to downward facing dog. Yeah, nice. Lift up your right leg And then step your right foot forward. Let your back heel come down and come all the way up. I like to think of this posture as a volleyball player. Just imagine you're playing volleyball here. So kind of like a volleyball pose. And then next, we'll open up, turn your back foot towards the back, I'm turning towards this wall. Reach your arms front and back. I like to call this surfer pose. It's kind of like a surfer. You're surfing on the water. Ooh, maybe a big wave. And there's your surfer pose. From here, turn your front palm up and reach that front hand up. And imagine you're going to high five the wall behind you. This back hand can reach down your leg, or you can also wrap it behind your back towards the front quad. Big muscle at the top of your leg. Nice. Then we'll open up like a star. And I realize I'm facing away from you, but second time through, actually I think I am going to turn around so you can see my star pose. And there's your star, and you might want to turn and face me as well. And from star, we'll take falling star. Just come all the way down like a falling star. Yeah. And then from here, just let your upper body dangle. Maybe your forearms rest down, holding the pose. From our star pose, we'll take twisted star. I'm going to walk both hands towards my back ankle. Just getting a nice little twist in my side body. And then I'll walk both hands towards my front ankle. And then I'll walk my hands back to the center. Walk my feet back in, turn back to the front of the mat, rise all the way up to mountain. Nice. So we went all the way through. Now we're going to take that a second time. This time we'll start with the left leg. Rise up to mountain. And then bring your hands down. And we'll step back to downward facing dog. And that's where we'll start. Okay. Lift up the left leg. Step the left foot forward. Drop your back heel. And then come all the way up. We're going to lift up to that volleyball pose. There's your volleyball pose. Yeah, you got it. And we'll open up to our surfer pose. Be like a surfer. Yeah. Enjoying the ride, enjoy the waves. Nice. And then from here, turn the front palm to the sky. Reach that front palm up and back. Let's do reverse. Nice. And then we'll rise up to our star pose. This time I'm facing you. There's star pose. Hinge forward, falling star. And again, you can separate the feet, let the crown of your head come towards the earth. Just enjoy the pose. Nice, and then we'll walk both of our hands toward our back ankle. And then to our front ankle. And come back to the center. And then again, we'll step our feet in and come all the way up to mountain. Yeah. And there we did our poses. Let's take it one more time on each side and just see if we can take it a little bit faster. Sound good? Start in downward facing dog. Okay, lift up the right leg. Step it forward. Drop that back heel. Lift up your volleyball pose or warrior one. Open to warrior two, your surfer pose. Turn the front palm up, tip it back, high-fiving that imaginary wall behind you. Then open up like your star. Again, I'm going to turn to face you. And then go ahead, let your star fall. There's falling star. We'll walk both hands towards your back ankle. And then to your front ankle. Bring the hands to the center. And walk or hop your feet in. Rise all the way up. There's your mountain. Draw your hands to heart center. Turn back to the front. Downward facing dog. Last time through, this time starting with the left leg. Lift the left leg, step it forward, lift up to warrior one or your volleyball pose. Open warrior two, feel strong and powerful. Enjoy that surf ride. Yeah. Turn the front palm up, lay it back, reverse. Moving to your star, 5-pointed star. Falling star, come all the way down. Walk your hands to your back ankle, now to your front ankle, to the center, plant your hands, tap your feet together, lift all the way up. Mountain, draw your hands to your heart. Great. We'll find a little bit of a balance pose next. Actually, I have 2 balance poses for you. One of them is tree pose, and I'm sure you've seen people practicing tree pose. Let's plant one foot. Again, I'm going to say plant your left foot, and bring your right foot up, and you can place the sole of the foot just along the side of the left leg. Your toe can be down on the earth or on your towel, and that will help you to find a little more balance. You can also slide your leg up, which will make the pose a little more challenging. So take whatever works for you today. Then your tree can grow branches. And branches can look however you imagine a tree. Maybe you bring them together like a evergreen tree. Maybe your branches are drooping like a willow tree. Maybe they're full like a maple tree. You make whatever tree comes to mind. In your tree pose, if you wobble and fall, that's totally fine. You just get back up and find the posture again or the pose again. Great. Draw your hands to your heart and release your foot down. Now we'll take it on the other side. What you do on one side, you want to do on the other. So the opposite foot plants. And now this time we pick the left foot up. And then again, find that tree option. Hands can stay here, or you can make the branches. Nice, so challenging our balance. Hold the pose. Steady mind, steady breath. Nice. Draw the hands back in, release the foot down. Great. Our next posture is called figure 4. In order to move to figure 4, we'll practice chair pose first. Bend your knees, step a little closer to you. Bend your knees, sit your hips back as if you are sitting down on a chair. You can reach your arms up or you can open them like goalposts. And I want to give you a side view again so that you can see I want to keep my knees over my ankles. Rather than bringing your knees forward as I am here, you want to keep your knees back so they're in line with your ankles. That's chair pose. All right, I'm going to face you again. From our chair pose, we'll find figure 4. Draw your hands to your heart. Keep your left foot planted, pick your right foot up. Now again, this requires some steadiness, some balance. If you fall out, not a big deal. You just try it again. Bring that ankle up above the opposite knee. Do you see how your legs make a 4 shape? Now you've got options. You can stay here. Nice tall spine, bringing your shoulders back. Or you can hinge forward, letting your forearms rest on that top shin. Yeah, nice. Another option, taking it a little deeper, is adding a twist, bringing the opposite elbow towards the sole of the foot. And when you're finished, let the foot come down and come all the way back up. Mountain, draw your hands in. And we'll take the same thing on the other side. Back to chair we go. I'm going to draw my hands in, picking up the opposite foot, this time the left ankle above the right knee. And again, there's your figure 4. Maybe this time you stay right here. Maybe you hinge forward. Maybe you add the twist in. Whatever works for you. And then coming back, voila, there's mountain. Draw your hands to heart center. Great. Coming down on our mat, we want to take a little time and strengthen our core, that midsection of our body, really from our shoulders all the way down to your hips is your core. We've got a front side of the core and a back. We'll work the front side first, our abdominal muscles. And to do that, we'll practice boat pose. Come down on your mat. And the soles of your feet can be touching. Bring your hands on the backs of your legs, your hamstrings. And then go ahead, pick your feet up. You should feel a little tightness in your core right away. And then you can draw your legs up, nice, and reach your arms forward like a boat. This is strengthening your core. Lead with your chest. The crown of your head is up towards the ceiling or the sky above. Nice, that's boat pose. You can also add some oars, moving side to side. Get a little work on the side of your abdominal wall. We actually call those your oblique muscles, but that might be more than you want to know right now. So moving side to side. Nice. And then from here, lower down like a kayak or a canoe. Yeah, you can really feel that in your core, right? And then go ahead, lower all the way down. Come all the way down to your back. I'm just gonna move so you can see me on the video. Nice. From here, we'll make a bridge. Knees are bent, the soles of your feet are down on the mat. Can you see that? My hands are alongside my body. I'm looking up at the sky. You might want to look at me first. Just gonna lift your hips up, making a bit of a bridge. Imagine a boat is going underneath. You keep your knees together rather than knees falling out wide, which I'm showing you here. Just keep them together. So this is bridge, stretching out that whole front side of your core, building some strength in the back body. Lift up, and then slowly lower back down. Nice. And then we'll roll right over onto our stomach and take beached whale. And this will strengthen the back side of our core. In beached whale, bring your arms alongside your body, palms are down, and work your hands so they're under your hips. Can you see that? And then I'm gonna look down on my mat. And then you can bring your heels together. I have to slide up a little bit so you can see that. Whales have a fluke. Bring your heels together so your feet make a little bit of a fluke. Can you see that? Yeah, nice. So I'm gonna come back so you can see my midsection. Arms alongside your body, making the fluke. And then lift your chest, lift your feet. And this is beached whale. Building some strength in the back body. You can lift your arms up a little bit. And then lower back down. Nice. Slide back to child's pose. Do you remember child's pose? That's the posture which we began. I told you is a resting posture. Heels back on your, or your hips back towards your heels. Forehead comes down and just take a little bit of a rest. We'll stay here for a few rounds of our breath, just calming down. Then I have one more posture I want to show you, and this one is called crawl. This is the balance pose where I asked you to have a pillow. So reach for your pillow. This is a more challenging pose. I wanted to add one challenging pose in. Do not think you need to master this pose or ace it today. You might fall. You probably will fall. That's why I had you take the pillow. I will tell you, when I first learned this pose, it took me 2 years to master this pose. Now keep in mind, I started way later in life than you. I wish I would have started when I was your age. But I was an adult when I started, and I was a little afraid to do this pose, and it just took some time. So if it takes you some time, no worries, you just stay at it. Everything, or most things, when you think about it, are difficult before they're easy. You don't remember this, but when you were a little child, you had to learn how to walk. And when you first started, you fell a lot. But you didn't quit because you fell. You kept doing it. And yeah, you can walk today. So, same with crow pose. From the posture, plant your feet, and they're just about 1 inch apart. You might even have your big toes almost touching. And then come up onto the balls of your feet. Can you see that? My heels are lifted. Yeah, the pillow's right in front of you. And then I'm gonna bring my hands down. I'm gonna plant my hands so they're about shoulder width, and my fingers are nice and wide. So they make a nice space. I think it's easier if I do it facing this way so you can really see what I'm doing. Now your arms, the back of your arms, the back of your arm, your upper arm is called your tricep. There's a muscle there, the tricep. And we're gonna put our knees up toward our tricep. It sounds challenging, but it's really not that hard. So I'm up on the balls of my feet. I'm gonna lift my hips up. I'm gonna bend my arms to make that shelf. Notice how my elbows are bending behind me and not wide. They're not coming out to the side. So this part I want you to see. I'm gonna bend them behind me, not wide, because then my knees would fall right off. Okay? So I'm bending the elbows behind me. Now, it's important that I look forward, not back towards my feet, but look forward, okay? And then I'm gonna bring one knee up onto my tricep, like so, and maybe I only lift one knee, which is totally fine. So the idea is to bring each knee, both knees, up onto the tricep, which I'll do right here. One knee comes up, the other knee comes up. and there's my crow pose. Now maybe you fall forward, which is totally fine because you have a pillow there, and that will help you. All right, should we walk through it again? Let's walk through it a second time. All right, up on the balls of your feet, hands down, fingers wide, hands shoulder width, elbows behind you, gazing forward, bend your elbows behind you, making that shelf with your upper arms, your triceps. Continue to look forward, bring one foot up, then the other. If you do bring your head down, this is called tripod. 2 hands and your head are touching. That's 3 parts of your body touching. Tri, meaning 3, like a tricycle has 3 wheels. Tripod, 3 parts of your body are down, supporting your body. Yeah, so that was our crow pose. Give it a shot. All right, our last pose is Shavasana. Shavasana is our final resting pose. You might even want to use your pillow to rest your head on. If not, just come down on your blanket or your towel or your mat, and you're going to lay right down. I think I might lay the long way so you can see. You just rest. Arms come alongside your body, palms up, and imagine you're sinking into the earth below you. Maybe bring that idea of the beach back to your mind and the water in the distance. Just relax. This is a time where you can try and let go of any thoughts that are coming into your mind. That's hard to do. I know it is hard to do. But think of when thoughts come in, just put a period on them, let the thoughts go by, and just enjoy as you relax and rest, very peaceful. We're coming to the end of our practice. We just have this little relaxing time. I'm going to stop talking for just a few rounds of breath so you can really be just totally at peace and ease. Now again, if you'd like a little more time, you can simply turn the video off and turn it back on when you're ready. But if you are ready to come out of the pose, begin with a little movement. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes right from your laying down position, your Shavasana. And then maybe reach your arms overhead, take a big stretch. So again, you're down on your towel and you take that big stretch, kind of like you're waking up in the morning. Then roll to one side. And draw your knees in towards your chest. Go ahead, rise to a seated position like I am in, seated cross-legged. You can rest your hands just above your knees, nice tall spine, so rather than slouching, draw your shoulders up and back, nice tall spine. You can keep your eyes closed. We like to end our yoga practice, or we will end our yoga practice with the word namaste. You might have heard that word before and not really sure what it meant. Namaste is a nice way to close your practice. What it means, I say namaste to you, and that means I bow to you. And I bow to you because I'm thanking you. I'm thanking you for taking this time to practice yoga with me. I'm honoring you, and I recognize you and say thank you. Thank you for practicing with me. And then if you feel the same way, like you want to honor me and say thank you back, then you respond back, namaste. So I'll say namaste, and then you can answer back from home, namaste. All right? So go ahead and draw your hands in towards your heart center. Together, let us bow forward, namaste. Great. Thank you. Thank you for practicing with me today. Please feel free, or I hope you will, comment in the comment section so I can know what you like. Did you like this? Would you like more? This was really pretty basic. I think this was about a half hour. We can certainly add more on. I'm happy to create more classes for you so that you can log in. I'll always upload these to my YouTube channel. I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. It's Lisa Jo Kramer. Yeah, just go ahead and subscribe, watch for more videos, and again, I appreciate the comments. Have an amazing day. Bye.